1997, in a small town in the Alaskan interior, a group of voters got fed up with the human candidates running for mayor. None of them seemed worth the trouble. So the residents of Talkeetna, Alaska, organized a write-in campaign and elected a cat. His name was Stubbs. He served for 20 years. At the height of his administration, he drew more tourist visitors per year than the state's official tourism board. Stubbs was a real cat, an orange tabby with no tail, hence the name. And while his title was honorary, he had a daily office, scheduled appointments with constituents, an official drink at the local saloon, and arguably more political stability than any other elected leader in the United States during his 20-year tenure. We are going to walk through the story, and we are going to talk about the other cats around the world who have held similar positions, including one who legitimately served in a senior diplomatic role. Talkeetna is a town of about 900 people. It sits at the base of Denali, the tallest mountain in North America. It is the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, where mail still gets delivered by float plane in some seasons, and where the local saloon is also the de facto town hall. In 1997, a mayoral election came around with a slate of candidates that the locals describe in interviews as uninspiring. A bar owner named Lori Steck had recently adopted a kitten from a litter found in a cardboard box outside the local general store. The kitten had been born without a tail, possibly a Manx, possibly a birth defect. She named him Stubbs. On election day, half drunk and half serious, the regulars at Nagley's General Store and West Rib Pub launched a write-in campaign. Stubbs the cat won by a comfortable margin. Now, legally, Talkeetna is a historic district, not an incorporated municipality. It does not actually have a binding mayoral office, but it does have a community-designated honorary mayor. And the title carries real responsibilities: greeting visitors, showing up at events, being a recognizable face for the town. Stubbs took the role and ran with it. Stubbs's daily routine became famous. He would wake up at the general store, walk across the street under the watchful eye of locals, and arrive at his afternoon office, which was the West Rib Pub. There, a bowl of water heavily diluted with catnip was waiting. Lori Steck stopped serving it once. Stubbs developed a slight catnip preference issue. By the late 2000s, Stubbs had drawn enough tourist attention that visitors would line up outside the pub to meet him. At his peak, the cat received between 30 and 40 visitors per Dalton Y. He had business cards. He had merchandise. He had a Facebook page run by his constituents. At one point, an estimate placed the percentage of tourist traffic to Talkeetna that was specifically motivated by a desire to meet Stubbs at roughly 50%. One small cat, one small town. An enormous net inflow of tourist dollars. Like any leader of significance, Stubbs faced threats. In 2013, he was attacked by a dog and required surgery. He recovered, but his mobility declined. In 2014, he fell into a deep fryer at the pub that had not been turned on. He was unharmed, but the locals described the moment as the closest call. He survived a leap from a truck bed. He survived a separate scuffle with another animal. He held office through all of it. Stubbs died on the 21st of July, 2017. He was 20 years old. His obituary ran in the Anchorage Daily News, the Washington Post, and the BBC. His funeral, held outside the general store, drew hundreds of attendees, including residents who had come from out of state specifically to attend. The mayoral position was filled by a young cat named Aurora, a Maine Coon mix who serves to this day. Stubbs is the most famous, but he is not alone. There is a small global tradition of cats holding official positions. In Mexico, in 2013, a cat named Morris ran for mayor of Xalapa, Veracruz. His campaign slogan was "Tired of voting for rats. Vote for a cat." He finished 4th out of 9 candidates. His campaign drew international press and is credited with one of the highest youth voter turnout rates in Veracruz state history. In the United Kingdom, there is an official government position called Chief Mouser to the Cabinet Office, which has been held continuously by cats living at 10 Downing Street since the 1500 seconds. The current chief mouser is a cat named Larry, who has outlasted 5 British prime ministers, including Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss, and Rishi Sunak. His official biography on the UK government website lists him as a permanent civil servant. And in Japan, several rail stations have officially appointed cats as station masters, complete with uniforms, salary, and named office. The most famous was Tama, a calico who served as station master of Kishi Station in Wakayama from 2007 until her death in 2015. When Tama died, the railway held a Shinto funeral that drew over 3,000 attendees. She was posthumously elevated to the status of an honorary Shinto kami, a minor spirit. By any reasonable definition, Tama was deified. Why does this keep happening? Why do small towns and small jurisdictions, on at least 3 continents, occasionally elect or appoint cats to positions of public visibility? The answer is partly comedy, partly tourism economics, and partly something more honest. A cat does not lie. A cat does not get embroiled in scandal. A cat shows up, holds court, accepts attention, and goes back to its nap. In a political climate where humans repeatedly disappoint, the cat is a low-stakes, high-charm office holder. There is also a measurable economic effect. Talkeetna's tourism revenue is estimated to have at least doubled during the peak of the Stubbs administration. Kishi Station, which had been scheduled for closure, was saved by the influx of Tama tourists, and now operates at a profit. 1 cat, 1 position, 1 news cycle, and a small economy with a viable future. So if you ever find yourself in a small town and you see a sign that says the local mayor is a cat, do not assume it is a joke. The cat almost certainly has a daily routine, a fan base, a job to do, and a measurable line on the local tourism balance sheet. And the cat has not lied to anyone yet. Stubbs of Talkeetna, Alaska. 20 years in office. No scandals. No regrets. A model for elected officials, regardless of species. If you want more strange and true cat stories, hit subscribe. See you on the next one.